welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks. So recently, when I've been playing World of Tanks, I've been mostly playing on premium tanks. A selection of premium tanks, so a couple of Chinese, the Skoda T40, some Italian tanks. Well, the one Italian tank I have, the Ariete, some Swedish tanks. Mostly with the view of training up crews, but I'm also trying to earn credits. I'm trying to bank up credits again so that I have a large volume of credits available when I restart a grind again. Now that I have finished the grind and completed some tanks. Now I don't particularly need a Czech crew in that I have played through the Czech line, but I have kept some of my Czech tanks. I actually have a lot of garage space. A couple of years ago, I took the thing of buying garage space in the Black Friday sales, and then the competitions changed and they started giving away garage space as part of the competition. So I've been accumulating garage space faster than I've been actually accumulating new tanks. So, with the exception of tanks that I sort of am absolutely certain I will never want to play again, I have been generally keeping my tanks. Now the Skoda line, they're kind of all the same in the sense that they have a similar type of performance. They're quite mobile, lightly armoured, not very well concealable. Tanks with generally a very good gun, with good accuracy, good hitting power and penetration, but generally very, very long aim times. And it's the combination of the long aim times. The long aim time makes you tempted to sit still while you're in position to shoot somebody, because then you don't have to wait for the gun sights to settle, which is probably a bad idea because the tanks have no armour. Any shot sent down range in your direction, if it hits you at all, it's going to penetrate. But the other thing is you kind of need to find positions where the enemy's not going to shoot back at you, either a long way away, hidden where they can't see you, or if you can't manage that in such a large crowd that you're not the priority target. So, can be tricky. You can also have the unfortunate experience, particularly if you're bottom tier, because they don't actually have a huge amount of hit points, of finding yourself sort of dead before you know it, really. Like, if you run into tank destroyers, when you're bottom tier in these tanks, they tend to just evaporate very, very quickly, because if you haven't spotted them and you didn't know they were there, well, then you're in trouble. But that's true of a lot of tanks. But some of them will have armour that will bounce the shots or stuff like that. Generally these ones won't. Now we get lucky here, we get a fire. And we get a decent amount of fire, so you obviously didn't have either a fire extinguisher or probably a trained firefighting trainer of the crew. Probably running food or something like that. So, not that I can complain or belittle them over it, because I tend to do the same. But you do pay the price for it every now and again, and it has given me quite a nice cushion of hit points. I've done quite a bit of damage. I can afford to take a little bit more risks. And we're moving into the game. And I want to support this light tank, because if we can eliminate a couple more enemy tanks. And I discover all the artillery is up here, and so is the Panther 8.8. Now, a Panther is the bugbear, because the Panther can actually bounce incoming fire of mine without me being able to do the same back. And he's got a similar type gun, but actually better gun handling. I'm not sure the gun handling on the Panther 8.8. I don't think I've driven one, but the 8.8s in general are pretty good guns in the German tech tree. And there is the return shot. Now down to 49 hit points, so I need to make this one count. The light tank has gotten rid of the artillery, and we're now, well, with the situation sorted. There is what, T43 is down a good bit. I've just taken the cautious route here, putting as much terrain between myself and potential enemies as possible. We are ahead of tank, but not necessarily as powerful as it means, because although while we have good position, We don't really have crossfires on anyone because of the way the terrain works in the centre of the map. So, well, I suppose the heavy tank near the cap circle could in theory have, but he's pushed a little too far forward. If he actually pulled back, he'd be getting a crossfire and the guy advancing up on our what is it, C1, D1 position, where I started out my shooting from. Now there's a nice U152 down here. If we can get a shot in, which we can't, we didn't manage to do it. Let's see if we get a better look from here, and we just keep backing off as soon as we've fired the shot. Pretty much have to stop. I mean, firing on the move in this thing is practically a waste of time. You might occasionally hit some stuff, but a lot of the time you're not going to do anything, you're not going to have any effect. So, situation is closing in. We have a light tank engaged with the ICU-152, we have a T-37 coming up to rescue him with very little hit points. And I parked close to the rise of the ground there, and my gun was off, so I had to back off a bit. And lucky to get the opportunity to actually finish him off. Because once he was past that ridge, that rise there, the terrain was going to not favour me anymore in terms of getting a shot at him. I'd have to actually come up here and join the fight directly, and then risking get shot back. And even a light tank, even crashing into a light tank now would probably end me. So I think we dropped that one. We didn't give it enough lead, and we definitely didn't give that one enough lead. But he's the only tank left, and he's finished off when he gets up into that position. So this gives us a victory. All enemy vehicles destroyed. 2,600 damage, which is pretty decent. So we have, let's see what we get. We get 81,000 silver, not bad. 2,600 damage, 3 killed, 11 penetrations, and an ace tanker. Yay! So that's pretty good. Quite happy with an ace tanker. We get that medal. Don't really ask me to pronounce it, but it's a good medal to get actually, because I remember the first time I got one of them was in a Comet. I killed an IS-7 and an E-75. Total kill stealing. It was in Fisherman's Bay. I was in the middle. They were in the town. I was plinking rounds off the roof, mostly ineffectually, trying to get them to actually trying to get them to look my way, because I thought it would give our guys in the town a better chance of shooting the sides of their turret. And after, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 rounds of ineffectual firing, a couple of them went in on the E-75 and killed it. And a couple of them did the same to the IS-7 and killed it. Now we're on mines. So this is a tricky one. Because again, you have the problem, you want to be in a spot where you can get to keep the gun working, keep it working early. Now, I go for this spot here, at least I decided to try it. It's not necessarily a good spot, but when it works, it can work very well. The thing is that if you need other people around you. So that Comet, or Cromwell that's running forward there, is very helpful, because he kept attention away from me for quite a bit of the time that I was here. So as we first snapshotted off the steering wheel earlier, it didn't work, but when we sit down and actually aim, okay, that one went into the tracks, we're starting to make some progress. Now, accuracy, I suppose, is okayish in these tanks. It's not really, really good, but this guy is at the edge of somebody's view range, because he keeps dropping in and out of view. We've got another round in, and I'm just going to change my location, so it's not going to be quite as easy to aim on me. I was targeted as soon as I popped up though, and he's only 12 hit points left, so he's finished off. That takes the steering wheel out of the equation. Now the position is more exposed now because I am pretty much on my own. However, there's nobody up here. There's the T-34-85 who is engaged with other tanks to his front. And he was now down to 244 health, where I have full health. Okay, he's going to damage me in a minute. Yep. However, and he would out DPM me in the normal course of events, But given that I was starting from so far ahead, I was going to kill him. There was no question about it. Now we have a T67 down there who has been spotted. We're going to do a lot of damage. Leave them on less than half their health, and I'm going to push forward here onto this Craft Panther. Now if the enemy had come up to this position the same as they normally do, there's no way I would have been able to hold this position. The main reason I was able to hold it, there wasn't many enemies up here and they weren't really paying attention to me. So, I mean, I have to be very careful here that I will lose a stand-up fight against the Craft Panther. I am actually relying on artillery and other things to actually help me out here. Because, first of all, the Craft Panther can bounce my outgoing fire, as you can see. And if he hits me, he will do damage. He'll do not as much damage as I'm doing to him, but he can do it more often. So we've managed to keep the Craft Panther whittled away. Mostly not our doing, in fairness now. Tiger P has actually come around to try and finish me off. And it was actually ironically unfortunate that the Tiger P did so, because if the Tiger P hadn't done so, I might have been hit by that artillery round. But I was backing off the Tiger P because I was trying to get a hold down position, at least minimise my target profile for the Tiger P. At this point we have the game well on hand. I mean, there's just these couple of guys around the cap circle. They're not going to win. There's too many tanks. Well, mines is too small anyway. You can't cap mines unless the enemy is a Tog sitting at their own base or something like that. Practically any tank, even heavy tanks, can make it from one base to another in mines. It's sufficiently small a map to be able to shoot at you if you're trying to cap on mines. So I don't think you can cap mines. And you shouldn't really be trying, in my opinion. You should be just using the threat of cap pressure to break up the attack in your base. But since there's nobody defending your base at this point, it makes no difference. There is one remaining artillery left, but you know, it's already engaged by a tank destroyer of ours, and the tank destroyer successfully managed to kill an E25. Successfully managed to kill, and it's now game over. So we're going to take the victory. So 100,000, bit better on the money. 3,000 damage. We've done more damage. We got ourselves a high caliber. We got an ace tanker. No other special medals in this particular one. Got 900 assisted as well, which is pretty good from tracking damage and things like that. And this will also leave us #1 by experience. So overall, I think pretty decent result. It's a good tank line as long as you realize these tanks are pretty fragile, and you just keep the gun in play, stay out of trouble, and continue to inflict damage upon the enemies. So I'll see you again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.